Well, all right, once again, everyone, welcome to the Growth Factory. I am your host, your billionaire coach, DAB Delia Bankole. All right, so I'm just going to reiterate the purpose of the Growth Factory is to catalyze the new generation of visionary African entrepreneurs, and the goal is building 1,000 billionaires by 2035. Right, this is a task for us, and we have a 10 years plan. We started the conversation really last year, but this year is technically the first year where we're going to be laying the foundation for building 1,000 billionaires over the next 10 years for Africa. Right, of course, we have 1,000 billionaires. There's going to be several hundreds, millionaires in hundreds, right? So several millionaire people will go from zero to several tens to several hundreds, and so, and we believe that 1,000 of that number would cross over to the billionaire status in the next 10 years. It's a passion for us, and we believe that we have the right tools and um, uh, the right machinery, yes, to be able to achieve this. So, but we're starting with the easy part of it, which is strategic education. So one of the things I have found out personally is that you can never grow beyond your level of knowledge. What you know is what makes you grow. What you know is what makes you grow. So as food is to the body, so is knowledge to whatever it is you do, right? So when you eat, you grow physically. When you take in knowledge, then you grow in whatever it is you are doing. So strategic education is very important for us. Later in the year, we're going to start structured support and scalable ecosystems. We're going to move, it's a movement for us. Like I said, we start with the smallest part of it, which is what we're doing, and we're going to be very, very hard on that, such that by the time you go to our platform, you have enough information to take you from where you are to where you should be. So I would just say that the easiest thing or the best thing is to just follow us as we grow, because every class, every session is a build up to what we said. So it's going to be a build up like that. So people who come late, right, who join us somewhere in the middle, we have a lot of learning to catch up with. And for those who are following us, I want to encourage that as much as possible. Don't just take these things as one of those things, practice them. One of the things I know about myself is that I will never teach something that is not helpful. I have found that out about my life. No matter what platform I am using to teach, if it is not helpful, I will not teach it. That is just me personally, right? I always aim to teach people only what is helpful, something that they can use immediately, and that will be very valuable for them, right? So let's go to our conversations for today, right? Where are we? So let's go to our conversations for the day, right? So we have been discussing the order framework, right? And then order simply means that objective, readiness, selection, execution, and review. And what we're saying is that you cannot truly scale if you don't have the resources, if you don't have the process for you to build on, right? And order makes room for increase. I want to ask us a question, for example. I don't know if you've experienced this before. You're traveling and then you just pack your clothes, just throw them into the bag. How many clothes can you possibly take when you have that, right? So, but when you fold the clothes neatly, you realize that you can take more, right? Order makes room for more. Order makes room for more. And order is a process. It's not just a word in itself, but it's a process. So we are breaking down that word order. How can you bring order into your life. And we're starting with that because if you're going to experience growth in the new year in 2026, and anytime you starting, right, like our people say in my part of the world, they say that it is when you wake up that your morning starts. So if you wake up today, like you get it, like, man, it's time to move to the billion cycle, that's when you wake up, right? So you need to put order into your life, and that's what we're saying. And we are also saying technically that if everything matters to you, then execution will collapse because you're going to be torn in different directions. If you turn in different directions, you will never get anything done. And that is why direction for us is very important. So today we are going into why most SMEs are directionless. So you understand why it looks like you don't have direction, the cost of indecision, the myth of doing more, right? You're going to be looking at that, what direction really means, then practical. We're going to do a matrix to help you see things you can do right now, right? Out things you should stop, things you should start, things you should focus. We're going to discuss all of that and the fear behind lack of direction. Why do many people actually lack direction? So if you can remember the previous 2 weeks, we said that objective means that you should have one major objective that you can say, this is this is what my organization, this is what my business is about. This is what we are trying to achieve. And we say that if you can narrow your objective down into one thing, critical thing that you want to achieve, then every other thing that will help you to achieve it will become easier. So if you missed that session, I want to implore you to please go to our YouTube channel and look at week 1 of the order principle. Then last week we talked about the readiness check. We looked at different aspects that shows whether you are truly ready to achieve that objective that you said you want to achieve. Now, this week we are saying, what do you need to do, right? So there's this story I read about, and of course I've seen Alice in Wonderland quite a number of times, right? So there's this scene in Alice in Wonderland where Alice asked the cat, he said, which way should I go? Then the cat replied, well, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to. Then Alice said, I don't much care where. Then the cat said, then it doesn't matter which way you go, right? If you don't know where you are going, then it doesn't matter which way you take. Just take any way, right? But one thing is important, right? If you don't know where you are going, any direction will take you anywhere, and you can be sure that you will not make any progress. People who make real progress determine the direction that they want to take. People who make real progress are deliberate, are intentional, are disciplined with where they are going. So clarity without direction is wasted effort. So most SMEs know their problems, just that they won't choose. You know you are not making money. You know you are spending more. So many of us have started, setting goals. What our goal for 2026, right? Some people say want to double, want to increase by 10%, want to increase by 20%. So, but then the problems that did not give you the result that you set for 2025, you know the problem, but the question is, are you willing to deal with it? In this session, I will be brutal with you. Trust me. I will be brutal with you. I will be brutal with you because you must decide that this thing we must stop. This thing. So if you are doing something that is not giving you the kind of result that you truly deserve, then why are you still doing it? Why do you keep doing it? That's the question, right? That's the question. So clarity without direction is wasted. Is wasted, right? So why will I know the truth and not act on it? That's the point. So you need to understand that. So from week 1, we talked about what we want, which I explained in week 2. Week 2 showed us where we are. Now it's time to decide. You must decide, because direction is where clarity means courage. Direction is where clarity meets courage. Without direction, you cannot be courageous. because all you have to, you'll be confused. Where there is confusion, there cannot be courage, because you are not sure of what you are doing. But when you are sure of what you are doing, you are sure of where you are going, then you can apply courage, right? You can apply courage. That's what we're talking about here. So direction is where clarity meets courage, right? So what's the cost of indecision, right? The truth is that indecision is costing you something. Direction itself is not choosing more paths, it is choosing fewer. Now, I don't know if many of us are aware of what Elon Musk did when he acquired Twitter, which he renamed to X. This guy did not just optimize the inefficiency of Twitter, he cut off the staff. He removed, in fact, he removed almost everything, broke it down to the barest minimum. And guess what? X is still standing. He changed it to nothing. I don't know if you remember the meaning of X in mathematics. Find X. X means nothing. He changed Twitter to nothing, and nothing is still existing till today, still thriving. And they lost more than half of their staff. Why? What did Elon Musk, what did he do? He removed their inefficiency, cut it off. So sometimes we don't know that indecision itself is not neutral. Indecision leaks time, money, and energy. Indecision, when you are not deciding, when you know what you are supposed to do and you are not doing it, it's costing you time, it's costing you money, it's costing you energy. So every time you are trying to keep all the options open, oh, you want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, you are actually closing progress. You have options open, but you are closing progress. I will never forget the story I read many years ago about one commander of the UK army. They went to attack an island, and they got to the island by boat. Immediately they crossed, immediately his army crossed, he commanded them to burn all the boats. So what does that tell you? It means that we either take this island or we all die in this place. We either take this island or we all die in this place. Decision takes you to a point of no return. And until you get to that point of no return, you are not ready to take your place in the scheme of things. You are not ready. You must get yourself to that point where you say, look, I either make it or I die trying. Somebody was famous for saying that. Was it BIG? I think it was BIG that said that, right? Say we either make it or we die trying. We die trying. So there is no going back. We've burned the bridges. You need to burn your bridges. So don't try to keep all your options open. You will be scattered everywhere. So you see a lot of businesses, they are doing so many things and making little progress. So you need to be sure this is exactly where we are going. This is exactly where we are going, right? So this is very critical, very, very critical. Indecision is not neutral. So every time you are thinking, oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, whenever you are in a maybe mode, just know that you are hindering your progress. You are hindering your progress. And when you are trying to please people, oh, I don't want to lose this customer, oh, I don't want to lose that customer, just know also that you are hindering your progress. So there was this story I read not too long ago about this guy who was the guy is a graphic artist, right? And then there is something he does for a bank. I think he helps them to do their brochures or something. And somebody asked him a question that, what exactly do you know how to do best in this graphics thing? He said it's logo creation, like helping to brand organizations and all of that, creating special logos for them and all. And then his mentor, his coach told him, he said, so if your core activity is creating logos, why are you designing brochures? Interestingly, as at that time, that bank pays him the most money. But in doing something that is not his core, he said he struggled. His coach said, if that is not your core, then drop it and focus on what you know is your core. This guy was like, I'm losing one of my best customers. And you know what? Because he trusted his coach, he did it. He left them. In fact, when he went to meet the branch manager that he normally relates with, and that one said, you are leaving us. He said he was surprised that because they were paying him well. You know what? In less than 1 year, when he started focusing on his core, he made more than times 10 of the money that bank was paying him. Why? Because more activity is not more progress. Activity is not productivity. Growth does not come from addition. Growth comes from subtraction. That is what Elon Musk did. He removed every form of inefficiency in Twitter. And if you read about the rocket he is building, he said he wants to build a rocket that can take people, in the with the cost, with the minimal cost, and is breaking everything down, looking at what NASA has built, and is saying that there are a lot of inefficiencies in that rocket, that they can still build something smaller, faster, better, and that is the technology this guy is investing money into, taking people to Mars, right? Because you must understand that real growth does not come from adding, from doing more. It is from removing. And I'm still going to break that down. So 80% of your results will come from 20% of your actions. So which means that 20% of your actions will come from 80%, which means 20% of your results will come from 80% of your actions. So look at the action that is giving you 20% of your results, which you are doing a lot of inefficiency that is not giving you much. So why do you keep doing what is not giving you much when you have something that is giving you much? Then you focus more on what is giving you much, so that you can multiply that 20% and increase it, right? So scaling begins when you identify the vital few. It's not everything you will be good at, but there is one or two things that you will be better than than most people. For me, I found my core is teaching. It's teaching, right? I can sit down all day and just sit down and be creating content. I've been doing this all my life. And then I realized that this is something that gives me the edge. I go to places, I train in organizations, and people ask me, bros, where did you get that thing you're talking about the other time? And it is piercing. It is solving real problems. Like I said, I had made up my mind since I realized that I had a teaching gift. I made up my mind that I will never teach something that is not helpful. I will never. If I cannot connect what I am teaching with solving real problems for people, forget it. I'm not going to teach it. Why? Because everything else is noise. Once you find your core, every other thing you do is noise. So there are a lot of people who find it comfortable, right, to be, to stay with noise. See, you don't have to stay with noise. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. So you need to learn to pay attention to the fact that when you are doing so much, that means there is a lot of noise around you. And noise will not allow you to create the kind of result that you truly want. So are you focusing on your core, or you are focusing on the noise? Noise brings distraction. I don't know if you have tried to be creative in a noisy environment before. It can be crazy. It drives you crazy. So when people say, oh, I'm stressed out, if you are stressed out, you are doing too much. That's what it means. Because if you focus on the few things you can do very well, you will have more time. You will have more time, you have more money, you enjoy quality relationships, and you are more productive. You can be more purposeful. More time, more money, you enjoy your relationships better, then you can focus on purpose. Once you can reduce and remove the noise. But if you are always stressed out, trust me, you are doing more than is necessary. That is what it means. So what direction really means, right? Direction is itself is not a plan. It's not like, oh, you plan to do this. Plan says a lot of activities that we need to do. That's the meaning of plan. You know, when you say you are doing your plan for the year, so you, oh, we are going to do this, we'll do this, we'll do that. So most times plan is itself is a bunch of activities. Direction is not a plan. Direction is a decision, and we're going to get there very soon. We're going to get there. Today's class is going to be very, very fast, right? We're going to get there, right? So direction is not a plan. Direction is a decision. Direction is saying this matters and that does not. This matters, that does not. What does it mean? Anything that doesn't align, anything that doesn't matter with the direction we have said we are going, let's cut it off. Let's cut it off, right? So everything else is noise. The future of your business is hidden in what you are willing to stop. The future of your business, the future of your life is hidden in what you are willing to stop. If you are finding it difficult to scale, if you are finding it difficult to achieve progress, if you are finding it difficult to achieve results, it means very likely that you are doing things that you should not be doing. You are dissipating your energy. That's what it means. It means you are dissipating your energy, right? So let's look at what direction really means. So if you must move in the right direction for your business, three important questions to ask. Number one, what to double down on? What that is, what should you scale? Number two, what to pause? Pause means it's important, but not as important as the one thing that will help us achieve our one objective. Remember, lesson one objective. What is the end goal? What do you want to achieve? Now, direction says this is the best path to get us to that end. And we are not going to do any other thing except what we know will get us to the objective we have set for ourselves. So except that objective is not important to you. If it's important to you, then you need to find a path that gets you there. Not every path will get you to the destination, trust me. Not every path. Because if that objective is truly important, if that objective is truly a vision, like I was explaining to some people yesterday, if you can do something by yourself, it is not a vision. Let me give you an example. You wake up and you say, oh, this morning I want to make bread and tea. You know, I want to make my breakfast. And then I don't know whoever prays to say, hey, God, give me grace to make my breakfast. It's something you can do. It's not a vision. But if you wake up one morning with a burden in your heart and say, there are a lot of hungry people in my local government. I want to feed my local government. And you're talking about almost 50,000 or 100,000 people. Boy, that is a vision. Do you understand that? That is a vision. You want to feed 50,000 people. That is a vision, right? So you know that if you're going to feed 50,000 people, you can't do haphazardly. Not everything will achieve that purpose. Then your mind starts going, who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to go? How do I start? Right? So you realize that your steps are broken down, ordered, because what you are doing is something massive, bigger than what you can do by yourself. That is a vision. So all right, welcome back, guys. So as we were saying, right, so what do you want to double down on, right? Meaning that what should you keep doing more of it? What do you need to pause? So pausing does not mean that you're stopping it, but it means that for now, let's wait. Let's wait, right? Because there's somewhere we are going. So let's wait. The challenge with many of us is that we want to do many things at the same time, and that prevent us from being able to have depth. And really, for you to scale, depth is very important. Depth is very important. Have you wondered why highly skilled people get very paid? Highly skilled people paid, because when you are very skillful in what you do, you have been able to go down, you have depth. So wherever you show up, the kind of things you say, the kind of contributions, the quality of your work speaks volume. And someone said that technology can do the work of 1,000 men, but no technology can do the work of one extraordinary man. So when you become extraordinary, as we're talking about AI, there are people AI cannot replace. Why? Because the quality of their work is extraordinary, very critical. So when internet came, then you say, internet, people will not be doing this again. Everything is going wire. The internet came. The people who are extraordinary leverage the technology to become even greater. The same thing will happen to AI. People will leverage AI to become greater at what they're already good at. That's what it means. But a lot of people who are average will be swept away by this wave of AI. And we're seeing it already. Many people are plunged into poverty right now. And more jobs are going to be taken away because a lot of the things that I need you for, AI can do it for me. So why do I need you? Right? And the third thing is what to kill. What to kill. You must tell yourself this thing, kill it. If we don't do it, nothing will happen. And that's the truth. Remember, last week we talked about the sunk cost theory. Because of the things you have sunk into that idea, something tells you, we spent money, we cannot go back. Who says you cannot go back? Count the cost, count your losses, and move on. Count your losses and move on. You can't stay there forever, right? So let's look at the start, stop, focus matrix. This will help you, like I will always say, and I tell you, I'll give you something you can use, right? So this part of the conversation, you can have it with your team, right? You have a group of people, your managers that work with you. Ask them, what process do we have that wastes time? Check your processes. If it wastes time, then something is wrong. I don't know if you guys remember before the engineer started banking, started running bank. Those days you go to a bank, you will sit down. In fact, they have chairs, lobbies. You will sit down for hours before you are attended to. When these guys started their banking system, when engineers with MBAs came into banking and all of that, the first thing they did was to remove chairs from the reception and cut down the process such that in seconds, in minutes, you are out of the banking hall. And then many people started flooding to their banks, and then they created the same problem they were trying to avoid, right? Until they came up with a technology, short code that you can use for banking. And then other banks too ran after the short code, right? So what process wastes time? Check. Is it taking too long for you to onboard your customers, for you to deliver your goods? Check your processes. If the process is wasting time, maybe it's time to kill it. Which customers drain your energy? If you have customers that drain your energy, you have to spend a lot of time, a lot of money explaining and all of that. Probably they are not even your customers in the first place. The people who are your customers, they will not overprice you. When you have people who are always overpricing, chances are that they are not your customers. So you want to pay attention to that. Then activities with low return on investment. Remember, we talked about the 80-20 principle. So if 80% of your result comes from 20% of your input, of your work, that 80% activity, all those things, you are just doing everything together, that is contributing that little 20% is low ROI, is low activity. It might just be an indication that you should stop altogether. Then what are the things you should start? Start one high leverage initiative. Do you need technology? Do you need to employ highly skilled people? Do you need, so you need to ask yourself, what do I need? What can I do now that can give me a big leverage such that if I can do this one thing, I can reach millions of people at the same time. I can serve, so think about it until you are ready to, to have leverage, to create leverage into your business. I tell you the truth, you are not ready for the billion we are talking about. You are not ready. Billionaires create leverage. They leverage massively, 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 right? They leverage massively. So what is one high leverage initiative that you need to start? What is one system you need to introduce that removes friction, that makes your work easier, faster, better than others? What one action do you need to do that supports the objective? Remember, week one, objective, where you are going. What one action will take you there faster? So those are things you want to be. So anything that is not taking you there, kill it. Anything that is not taking you there is either you kill it or you say, let's wait. Let's focus. Let's focus. As you are doing that, you are redefining your system. And then it will help you to see, so which one will take me there, which one will not take me there. So what it then means is that you create focus. What is the narrow path for the next 90 days? Remember, we said week one, your objective, one thing you must achieve within the next 3 months. Now we are saying that what is the one path that can take you there, that can help you achieve that goal, that objective you set. So go back to week one in case you are listening to this and you have not listened to week one, because it's a continuum, right? So go back to week one and ask yourself, what do I need to do? That what path must I take that will give me the result that I'm asking for? Then ask yourself, from today, what should get my attention and what should get my resources? See, there are some things that you should stop doing. If you don't kill distractions, they will kill momentum. Let me say that again. If you don't kill distractions, they will kill momentum. So what should get your resources? What should get your attention? If there's a lower level staff that can do something, why must you do it? The fact that you enjoy doing it does not mean you should do it. You can use that time for more productive activities. That's one of the things that because I am a fixer, I like fixing things. But then I soon realized that I can't do everything. So I now have to start delegating things. I say, guy, you get this done for me, get it done for me, So rather pay for time so that that time can be used for something more productive. That's what we're talking about. What gets your attention, what gets your resources. So, okay, I was going to take us through a simple test, but let's quickly run through this. So what is the fear behind lack of direction? These three things very critical. Most founders fear focus, right? We fear focus. Because focus means loss. If once you say you are going there, that means that every other thing you have to let go. And in letting go, it means you are going to be disappointing someone. Some of us, we don't like to disappoint people. We don't like to disappoint our friends. That's why it looks like in our business, we feel stuck, because we don't want to disappoint people. But if you are going to scale from tens of millions to billions, you will disappoint people. In fact, some people will misunderstand you and give you names because you have chosen to be different. They will give you different names just because you have chosen to be different. But you cannot be afraid of being different anyways. So you have to stay with it. It is what it is, right? So we fear focus because focus means loss. You must lose something. We discussed that last week. Readiness. Are you ready? Are you ready? Focus means loss. And sometimes you will disappoint people. So let's take this as our last activity for tonight. this is our last activity for tonight, right? So answer a simple yes or no, right? And then if you can write it down in your journal or maybe your notepad on your phone, very, very good. So the first one, I'm going to read all of them at 10. 1, I can state a single 90-day objective in one clear sentence. Yes or no? 2, our current focus area directly supports that objective. So the objective you said in number 1, what you are focusing on right now in your business supports that objective. Yes or no? So if you don't have objective, number 1 is no. That means number 2 automatically is no. Number 3, we have explicitly stopped at least one activity that drains energy. You look at your activities alone, this one is draining energy, stop. What have you stopped recently? What have you stopped recently? Yes or no? Number 4, we have identified what must not receive attention this quarter. As you start this year, what must not receive your attention? Do you know it? Have you identified it? Let us know, yes or no. Number 5, our resources, time, money, people are intentionally concentrated, not scattered. Are your people concentrated on the important task, or you are scattered everywhere? You are scattered everywhere, or you are concentrated. Number 6, we are no longer protecting systems or activities because of past investment. Last week, we talked about the sunk cost theory. So, are you protecting a system or an activity because you have spent money on it? Say, we spent money, let's keep. You know that thing was a mistake. But because you have spent money on it, say, no, we cannot kill it. Oh. Are you keeping something or not? We are no longer protecting systems or activities because of past investment. Yes or no? Number 7, I am willing to disappoint someone to maintain focus. Yes or no? Number 8, our team knows what matters most right now and why. Our team knows what matters most right now and why. Number 9, if questioned, I can defend our direction without hesitation. We have talked about direction tonight. Can you say that if somebody asks you and say, bros, but we bought this thing, why are we not using it? Oh, we did this. Why? Can you defend your direction where you are going now without feeling without hesitation? Can you? Number 10, I am clear about the cost of not choosing and accept it. There's a cost to you not choosing, not focusing. Do you know the cost? And have you accepted it? Yes or no? I am clear about the cost of not choosing and accept it. Yes or no? So that's going to be all for tonight. So let's have a brief conversation before we go, right? So who wants to share with us how many yeses or no's do you have? All right, let's look at how clear are you in your business direction. So let's take one or two contributions tonight, right? How many yeses do you have done? Hello, I hope I'm not alone. Daria, how many yeses do you have? Right. Okay, Dan, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, because I'm still in this transition journey between full-time career path and into full-time entrepreneurship, so I'm still having to apply most of these things to my personal engagement and my career first. And it's
Right.
actually quite mindful that it is necessary to, in fact, with my team in the office, it's one of the things I think we'll need to be engaging in, especially with my project managers. Because I know project managers like a lot of activities, tracking projects. Are we
Mm,
busy? Are we working?
mm,
So we that we work in project-based industry, I think we like a lot of projects. When people sit down, they want to believe Are we working? Are we making use of the hours when we could actually go into maybe research, learn something to even better what we
Mm.
currently do? So it's a reflection for me in terms of this direct emphasis on direction, getting direction. You you mentioned about pruning, and I think this really sits well. Most of the things is we've always been told to find how we can do more in a specific period of time, but there's this needs emphasis of ensuring that you optimize, and optimization start from pruning, and
Mhm.
then pruning activity.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, okay. The network is breaking, right? So I also can't hear Dan anymore. Oh, have you stopped talking?
So I was controlling the noise in my background. Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was that was my. So for these questions you have asked, I'm having to take a second review of to know how if I've, especially for me personally, for my personal journey for this year, to
Yeah.
properly review if I'm not over engaging in activity that would affect productivity at the end of the day for me. Right.
Mhm.
Is I think this is coming at the right place, beginning of the year, and then when we get into new activities and as an opportunity to also drop new ones. So for me, thank you, sir. I think it's an opportunity for me to reevaluate again and see what I've planned. Is it really a planning for chaos, managing chaos, or really a planning for focus? So in
Mhm.
this question, I'll say 50% that I'm sure is a yes. The
All
rest
right.
is still standing between yes and yes or no.
Awesome. Awesome. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. All right. Dio, do you want to share? Do you want to share from your own end? Are you with us?
Okay, am I on now? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay, well, actually, it's like a 50% also from my side, and the way I'm seeing it, and what I've been learning so far, I'm pretty sure I can still take more. Like I can move up to like 80 in due time. Because actually, what I've learned is what I'm very sure about it. So I believe I can incorporate some of these things into my activities. And now that learned something about extracurricular activities that have involved in my business, so I know what to cut and how to scale up. So it's a good thing, but I'm sure of 50. I'm sure of 50 for now. I'm sure of 50. I'm pretty sure I can move ahead and
All
do better.
right. All right.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. That is really, really heartwarming, right? So, knowing that we can all be better, right? So, like I said, this is a suggestion. Just yes, screen grab these, discuss it with your team, right? So, let's discuss it. Like, so let them know. Oh, this is it. Let them share their opinions, and these are very good training materials. In fact, you can just on this in your office and watch with your team, and then ask them for their contributions. You can have the conversation, right? So, and I know it's going to be a great one. So, thank you so much, everyone. Right. So, I like to introduce to you my one of my products. Like I tell people, when I started my journey as a coach, I started as a married coach, actually. I'm actually a certified family life therapist. That was way back 2017, and I do a couple of things. So, after working with different couples for, a couple of years, right? That's about 9 years now. Beautiful. I think I've tried, right? So, I've been able to break down some of the core things that people need when they are planning for their homes, right? to have a 12-week mentoring program for couples, right, which you can use to position your marriage for global impact. Either you are newly married or you've been married before. It helps to refresh your marriage, right? And if you desire to be a strategic coach, you want to understand the blueprint and be able to teach it. So you're going to have both the manual and 6 coaching sessions, personalized coaching sessions, right? It's going to be virtual. So, and it's live. It's not like, oh, it's recorded. It's going to be live, 6 live sessions where you can ask questions, and all of that. So the link on how you can access this resource will be posted in the description, right? So please go ahead, get the resource. Once you have it, we'll reach out to you, and then so either you download the material or you get booked for your coaching sessions. Very, very powerful. You don't want to miss that. So thank you so much. So today, what's your biggest takeaway from our conversation today? Right? I love feedbacks. I love to know that what we are doing is really making sense. So if somebody wants to share, what's your biggest takeaway from today? One word that describes how you feel, right? Anyone before we call it a night here in Lagos, Nigeria. What's your biggest
Yes.
takeaway from today?
Okay, my biggest takeaway is as the topic of the day is direction. Um, it's not just planning, but ensuring that the priority of what is important is actually decided. So we don't end up filling even our plans with inefficient activities. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
be efficient in what we have decided to do. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't end up deciding on what just fills the activity. We get tired, we get sapped out of energy, yet the results, we are not close to the goal that the objectives we are setting to achieve. So yes, that's the biggest takeaway for me, to look at what are the activities that won't contribute to the goal. What is the ones that you can actually outsource or pause or outrightly even kill in the process that should not even be in the list at all. I think this is really helping me in terms of thinking about business that I'm trying to set up, either with someone or even advising someone self. So me, because God is helping me to also become like an advisor to people who are also trying to start these things. I've tried to invite some people. I don't know why they are not joining, but I'll still
Mm-hmm.
put pressure. I'll still put pressure on them. I've shared the idea. Oh, come and join. Come and hear something. But I'll still
Mm-hmm.
put pressure on them because I know there are quite a number of people that I've talked with that will benefit from these conversations we've been
Mm-hmm.
having for weeks now.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Right. So remember, your life inspires your business empowers your customers, and together we build a better world. So I want to encourage you, let's go out there, let's build a better world. You are solving problem for humanity. What you are doing matters. What you are doing matters because you're solving problem, and you also matter. So you need to remind yourself of that again and again and again, that you matter. You are not just somebody. You are real. You are a real being with impact. You are a real being out here to make massive difference in the world. And I can't wait for the beautiful things that would happen for you and your business. So as we close, I want to remind you to join the Growth Factory WhatsApp group, right? And remember, you can use the link bit.ly/100x underscore growth. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel Boardroom NG on YouTube at Boardroom NG. That's the YouTube. So because we teach boardroom level information resources here, right? So, and if you have not subscribed, I'm just wondering why you have not subscribed. I'm just wondering why. And the goal is that we will actually get at least, let's cross 100 before the end of January. We're at 82 now, so we need 18 more people to subscribe for us to cross our first 100. And you know what? At the end of this year, we should cross at least 1,000. So we need to move very fast, right? So I am appealing to you. Share if you enjoy the video, share it with your network. Encourage them to subscribe. Let's cross the first 100 this January, right? So till we see you again next week at the Growth Factory. I still remain yours, billionaire coach Dele Ayobankole, and here is me signing out for today. Thank you so much, and God bless you. See you next week. Bye bye.